Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss a new topic of surface chemistry, that is enzyme catalysis. So before discussing its catalytic process, first of all I will tell you about enzyme and its features and characteristics. So first of all, enzymes. Enzymes. What are enzymes? I think you are not knowing, you have not studied about it. Enzymes are actually a type of protein. A type of protein. Proteins are what? Nitrogenous compound. A type of protein that is nitrogenous compound. Nitrogenous compound found in living body. Found in living body. Living body, that means living plants, animals, etc. So found in living body. Now, what is its use? Its use is for to increase rate of biological activities or biochemical changes. Rate of biochemical changes increases through enzymes. So it increases rate of biological activity. It increases rate of biological activity. Now, before discussing its features, first of all, I discuss examples, few of the examples of enzyme. Examples of enzyme. There are many examples, 2-3 examples we will discuss. So, first one is inversion of cane sugar. First one is inversion of cane sugar. For inversion of cane sugar, invertase is used. Inversion of cane sugar, enzyme used is invertase. We cannot use any other enzyme because enzyme catalysis is specific for a particular reaction. A specific enzyme is used for a particular reaction. So inversion of cane sugar is C12H22O11. It is going to be hydrolyzed, and after hydrolysis it will be broken into two different monosaccharides, that is glucose and fructose. You see here their formula is similar, molecular formula is similar, but in another one chapter, that is biomolecules, you will study what is the difference between glucose and fructose. Glucose, it contains aldehydic group. Glucose is with aldehydic group and fructose is with ketonic group. Glucose and fructose. Now, many more examples are there, like decomposition of urea, decomposition of urea. This is NH2CO NH2. It is also hydrolyzed, and enzyme used is urease. Enzyme used is called urease, and after the reaction it will give 2 moles of ammonia and broken into carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide gas will be released. So this is decomposition of urea. More examples are there, like for decomposition of glucose. Through decomposition of glucose in absence of air, it is producing ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide, and the enzyme used is gymase. Enzyme used is gymase. So decomposition of glucose. Decomposition of glucose in absence of air. Here catalyst used is gymase. So this is C6H12O6. It is getting decomposed in presence of gymase. In presence of gymase, it is giving ethyl alcohol, and another one product is carbon dioxide. Ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. There are many more examples, like maltase enzyme is used for hydrolysis of maltose. Maltose is also a type of sugar, and after hydrolysis that will be also broken into glucose and glucose. That means 2 moles of glucose. Any other, we are taking example pepsine. Pepsine is a type of enzyme which decomposes peptide bond, breaking peptide bond, and gives amino acid. So this example of pepsine you have studied when you studied digestive system. So there are many more examples. More example you can study from books also. Now next I am going to discuss its features or characteristics. So features of enzyme catalysis. Next is about features of enzyme catalysis. So under that topic we will discuss how small amount of catalyst is enough. Small amount of catalyst, that means enzyme. Here catalyst used is enzyme. So features of enzyme catalysis. Next one. Features of enzyme catalysis. Features or characteristics. Features of enzyme catalysis. So first one is highly efficient. Highly efficient. You know, one molecule of enzyme is enough to catalyze 1 million molecules of substrate per minute. Per minute, within 1 minute, one molecule of enzyme can catalyze 1 million molecules of substrate. So I think you all understood how efficient it is. So highly efficient. Small amount of enzyme is enough to catalyze biological activity. To catalyze biological activity. Just now I told one molecule of enzyme is enough to catalyze 1 million molecules of substrate per minute. Now next one is highly specific. Just now I gave many examples, and in each example I discussed a specific enzyme. Suppose first one example I have taken, for inversion of cane sugar we used invertase. If in place of invertase we use maltase, that reaction will not be possible, because that enzyme is not specified for inversion of cane sugar. So second point, highly specific. Highly specific. Highly specific. So a particular specific enzyme, a specific enzyme is used to catalyze a particular biological activity, biochemical reaction, to catalyze a particular biochemical reaction. There are many more examples. I discussed many examples, so any one example here you can write in favor of this point. Now next is optimum temperature. Optimum temperature. So enzymatic activity will not be possible at any one temperature. It is having a particular extent of temperature, and that is between 25 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius. That means 298 Kelvin to 310 Kelvin. That is 25 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius. This is optimum temperature. Next is optimum pH for enzyme catalysis. Optimum pH. Optimum pH. Optimum pH is between 5 to 7. In basic medium, enzymatic reactions are not be possible. Now, next one, coenzymes. Coenzymes and activators. First of all, I discussed about coenzyme and then about activators. So coenzymes. Coenzymes are what? They are non-proteinaceous substance. Actually, it is a type of vitamin, and activators are minerals. It increases rate of enzymatic activity, and activators also increases catalytic activity of enzyme. So they both are used as promoter, but coenzymes are vitamins and activators are metal ions, which we are getting from minerals. So I think from class 2-3 onwards you are studying vitamins and minerals are most important for our health, for our body, and from diet we should take such diets which contain or which are sources of vitamins and minerals, because they increases rate of enzymatic activity. So coenzymes are non-proteinaceous substance that is vitamins, that is vitamins which increases rate of enzymatic activity. Now about activators. So activators are metal ions. Activators are metal ions. That is, there are many more examples: copper ion, sodium ion, cobalt ion, etc. So activators are metal ions, and it also increases, activators are metal ions, increases catalytic activity of enzyme. increases catalytic activity of enzymes. So this was about coenzymes and activators. Now last point about features of enzyme catalysis is inhibitors or poison. Inhibitors or poison. Next one, inhibitors or poison. In previous video also I told what is the use of promoter and poison. So here also I am discussing about poison. Suppose someone person drunk poison or any type of molecule or medicine they have taken which reduces biochemical changes in our body or which reduces biological activities in our body. So how it is happening? Actually they are inhibitors or poison, and they interact with active functional group of enzyme and reduces their enzymatic activity, and through that they are reducing biological activity because enzymes are responsible to increase rate of biological activity in our body. So indirectly they affect biochemical changes in our body. So first of all it reduces biological activity, and maybe its concentration will be more in living body, then that person will die because finally it destroys all the biochemical changes. So inhibitors or poison, it interact with active functional groups, active functional groups groups of enzyme, and reduces its catalytic activity or destroys. So this is inhibitor or poison. So these all were features of enzyme catalysis. Now lastly I discuss mechanism of enzyme catalysis. It is based on lock and key hypothesis. In that, key is used as enzyme and lock is used as substrate or reactant. So what is the use of key? की के बिना तो लॉक खुल नहीं सकता है ना? तो यहाँ भी हमारा एंजाइम वही काम कर रहा है. विदाउट एंजाइम rate of biological activity will not increase. So how it is happening? Just we'll try to understand through lock and key hypothesis. It is very interesting. So this is next one is mechanism of enzyme catalysis, which is based on lock and key hypothesis. So first of all, let me explain lock and key hypothesis. Afterwards, we'll write about it, because without understanding, there is no use of notes and all. Mechanism of enzyme catalysis. So this is key. This key we are taking. This is key which is used as enzyme. Key. And now lock. Just try to understand. here it is inside. This is a cavity, so this portion will be inside. This is projection. Okay. Now next one, let you see, it is coming outside, then it is inside. This is completely inside. And after that we are observing again over here, so this part will be again inside, and afterwards it will be used as key. This is key, and key is actually this is key, this is engine, and this one is lock. As a lock we are using what? This is substrate. Substrate or reactant in biological activity. This is reversible process. Now in this process we are getting enzyme substrate complex. Just try to understand over here, this is key. And this is lock. This is lock, and this is called enzyme substrate complex. Enzyme substrate complex. It is called enzyme substrate complex. E is for enzyme, substrate, and asterisk will put for complex. Now after that we are getting product. It is separated out, and here also it has been separated out. This is product, and enzyme again will get as it is. Enzyme. Over here again we are getting this enzyme as it is. It is providing again its surface for next reaction. Enzyme is again providing its surface for next reaction. Actually here there are cavities of enzyme. Actually on these cavities there are functional groups. So this substrate interact with that functional group and form enzyme substrate complex, and then enzyme substrate complex decomposes at optimum temperature and pH and gives product. And again we are getting enzyme surface as it is, enzymatic surface as it is, for which is provided for next reaction. So just write it down. It is actually what? First of all, enzyme surface has cavities with active functional groups. Enzyme surface has cavities with active functional groups, that is amine, etc., which interact with substrate, and that substrate fits well into the enzyme. That substrate fits well into the enzymatic surface, and form enzyme substrate complex. Now this enzyme substrate complex decomposes. Enzyme substrate complex decomposes to give product, and enzymatic surface is provided for next reaction, for next biochemical reaction. Now, if there will be any doubt related to this topic, so you all can write in comment box, and then I will solve that problem. If any confusion will be there, and related to this topic, if any question will be there, then definitely I'll try to solve my best. Thank you. And in next video, I'll discuss about colloids.